Hey, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Hey, everybody, comment down below. Let me know where y'all from. Let me know if you're rocking with Migos, Takeoff, whole Quavo situation. Everybody down in Houston, shout out. So let's get down to this, man. So the reports coming out that they just got the real dude that Lil Cam told on. That's another person that's involved in the whole Takeoff Migos situation. Now, both Lil Cam and him were hanging out with MobTies in Fifth Ward when they were at that bowling alley where the whole situation happened with Takeoff, Migos, Quavo, the guy he was arguing with, J. Prince Jr., the Jazz Prince who left early, the guy in the yellow hoodie, Lil Cam, and all those guys, Migo bands even. So now that they got the second guy, it was basically because they earlier, a couple days ago, they done got Lil Cam to tell on him, and they offered him a deal saying that if he told on him, he might be able to get off on a couple of the things that had happened. So what he did is that he pointed and gave him direct GPS coordinates to his auntie's house. And so the feds pulled up deep in his auntie's house and kicked through that back window and through his screen door. And they basically jumped in and grabbed the dude while he was playing 2K. And he was trying to hide under the bed, but they dragged him out. And then what they did was that they made sure that he was able to subdue, and they told him that this was justice for Takeoff. So Lil Cam snitched on him, and that he said that he should have picked better friends that wouldn't tell on him. And so basically the whole situation ended up at him getting cuffed and being booked in for the whole being blamed as a second person that's affiliate with the whole persons who are involved in the Takeoff thing that happened tragically, and condolences to Takeoff and the family. I know that they hurting bad, but they keeping on getting justice for Takeoff. I want everybody to like this video if you guys want to get the justice. And they just got a second person. They got Lil Cam to tell on him. They put a lot of the pressure and a lot of the heat on Lil Cam. He was in the hot seat, not just by the people who got him in the feds, but also by MobTies. They knew that, MobTies, they didn't want him to talk. They didn't want him to do anything. So he diverted and pointed out a single individual who was right there next to him that really Migo Bands has seen him too. And they both probably might still tell on Migo Bands to get both of them a lesser, and to try to blame Migo Bands for being the one that did it too. And you got to understand, all three of them guys are sweating right now. They're all looking at a lot of time if they end up being involved in like being put the blame on, because they got to pick one guy. They got to pick one guy. And it might be the ballistics might come out saying that two different people hit him or one guy hit him or this and that. So until that comes out, it's a big blame game, and they're going to have all these guys in question. They're going to have them basically doing laps around them in the interrogation room, trying to figure out exactly what they did, where they was, where they going to mess up. They're going to ask them the questions about, okay, what was you doing at 1:19 a.m.? And then they're going to come back and be like, so you said at 12:15 a.m. you did that? And they're going to say, yeah. And that's when they're going to get them with the, you done messed up. You done messed up, right? You done did what, yep, exactly. So that's when they're going to get them with that. They're going to start with that. Then they're going to play good guy, bad guy. They're going to have one guy come in, offer him cookies and donuts and chips to tell, and like some juices, and that he could tell on the other guy in the other room. And then once he's done with that, they're going to have the bad guy come in. He's going to kick the door in and tell him that they're going to give him 150 years if he doesn't say exactly who did it, and point names and, name names and point into directions of people. They want to know everything that happened. And so while they all doing that, everybody else is watching through the other side of the reverse glass that you can only see one way. It's a one-way glass mirror. And so what they're doing is they're looking to see if he's sweating, if his facial expression is giving away signs saying that he's guilty. And so while they're doing all of that, the family is like trying to get the justice. They're trying not to think about it too much. It's a whole situation where like it's a lot of moving parts, and people are out there. They trying to do their job. They're trying to find out who did it. And then there's a lot of people out there who trying to hide the fact that they seen who it was. They know exactly who it is. They hang out with him. It's a lot of girls there that actually hang out and, got DM'd by that guy trying to kick it with them and all that. And a lot of people that got invited by the peoples that came out. And so what you got to understand is that all 40 of them people know exactly who did it. And it's only 3 people who's talking about it. And Lil Cam is talking because he's trying to get out that jam by snitching and stuff, because that's the only way he knows, that he got caught for 3 other things. And so this is his 4th strike. So what do you think he's going to do? He's going to sing. He's going to sing out loud like you singing in the shower or something like that. And so because Cam is singing, That's how they found the second guy. And the second guy is going to tell on the third guy, which they're going to all try to tell on Migo bands. And it's a bad situation because now it's like 4 or 5 people going down for it. That basically just goes to show, to tell you that you shouldn't even be anywhere near that type of situation. Because even if you think you in the right and you helping someone and this, that, and anything happens to somebody, you still gonna get blamed for it. You still at fault for it. So it's really not worth being around that and everything. It's the last resort that you want to have to go to. And so that's what most people are trying to use it for and everything like that. Not only that, but the fact that they were just being dumb with where they were. You know, if they had security with them, the security could have did it. But then you also got to understand that you got to be able to handle your own. And so because of that, it's like, man, don't go somewhere where you going to be being tested so much and not having the security and everything. You can still try to handle your own, but you will be still blamed and you might not get out that jam. But had you not even gone there and you would have went somewhere else where it was probably less likely for something like that to happen, and anything could happen anywhere. But you got to understand, you got to move strategic. You got to move so smooth that you got to make sure where you going is worth it, and that the risk level you take and the pros and the cons. Okay, you're gonna have fun, but is the amount of fun equal to the amount of risk? Is it at a better level to where it is worth going out there and maybe network and meeting people like-minded, business-minded or something, and trying to get some goals done and trying to figure out how y'all gonna build up big companies and real estate and all that, right? Or is it a situation where you're like, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, maybe just a regular amount of fun, but then it's a big risk because it's a bunch of people there that's street guys that already be beefing with your group. So and you have to check in at the same time. So you actually end up, the people you beefing with are the people you checking in with. How did they not realize that to begin with, man? Y'all gotta move way smarter than them. You gotta move definitely different. So it looked like Quavo basically led him there, man. This whole thing could have turned out to be a big setup by a lot of people, both sides, maybe even. You never know. But now you got QC going at MobTies saying that Prince Jr. and Jazz, they did a lot to do with this. They got to answer to it because they threw the party. You got to understand, the people who threw the party get questioned too, because you knew that they was beefing with Quavo the whole time. So why would you bring them in the same room? You supposed to be checking in. You should have told everybody to, hey, don't argue with these guys. They checking in. They're paying the security fee. That's going to feed the whole team. That's going to pay for this whole party, so that when they do the entrance fee and the drinks and everything like that, that they get to keep that money as pure profit, and that the security fee is going to make sure that the team eats. But at the end of the day, they are the ones who invited Cam and the dude that he just told on, Big Pat. So Big Pat and Cam got invited by MobTies, J Prince Jr. and Jazz Prince. They part of the 40 people. It was them two and 38 other people. And then the fact that you got them invited puts heat on MobTies and Jr. and Jazz. Then not only that, but QC putting heat on them because that's Takeoff. He part of Migos. That's QC. They tied in infinity, whatever they call it, right? And so now you got them on the heat, on the hot seat, and they all like, okay, is Lil Cam and his buddy gonna tell on us? They don't know. And they're gonna ask him, who invited you? What did they invite you for? Did they invite you for security? Did they exactly? So the worst thing is they don't want them to figure out if MobTies or Jazz or Junior invited Cam and his buddy Big Pat to do security for that event. Because if they got there and they did security for the event, that means they got paid to be the security. And that explains where they were walking off with the brown paper sack with 10K in it, allegedly, as what people are saying is one of the scenarios. And so as we keep diving into these scenarios, that they could have been there to be paid security, and that when something popped off, they're the ones who was, basically like assigned to take care of and sweep everything up and do the dirty work. Because they each probably had like 3 strikes on them already anyways. And so they were the ones who were like eligible to do dirty work, and it wouldn't have mattered anyways. Hence, they were the crash test dummies. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment down below, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one.